Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius and Anucauskas. Today's the 18th of April 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. The content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the FTSE100. Now, looking at this index here, it managed to travel above its downside resistance line that I kept talking about in a few of my previous videos. This downside resistance line taken from the high of May 2018. The only thing is that it's currently stuck here still below this key area of resistance, which is around the 7,480 zone. So basically, even though we are now trading above this downside resistance line, certainly that is a good sign, but for better confirmation, we would like to see a nice good push above the 7,480 zone, and especially if we could see even a daily candle closing above that barrier here, then yep, that would be a great move here for the bulls. We could see more of them jumping in and potentially dragging this one towards the 7,550 level, which marks the high near the 28th of August. So very good, sorry, not the 28th of August, this one a little bit lower here, the 27th of September. So yep, do apologize for that. The 28th of August marks the high, which is near the 7,635 level. So that could be our next target. But again, for now, let's go step by step. Let's see if it actually manages to get towards the 7,550 level. But again, like I said, in order to consider that area, we need to see a nice good push above the 7,480 zone first. In terms of the downside, if this suddenly drops below this downside resistance line, then in a way we could see this one traveling a little bit lower here, potentially testing this 7,370 level here, the one that I've got highlighted, but slightly below that. If it continues to travel lower, of course, we could retest this this upside support line, this medium-term upside support line taken from the lows of December last year. So in a way, guys, for now, long story short, basically, in order to consider higher levels, we need to see that nice good pop above the 7,480 zone. In order for us to aim lower, at least in the short run, we need to see a drop below this downside resistance line, and then of course, maybe even actually from the very short-term perspective, you could take a look at this little area here near the 7,410, break of which could open the path towards this level that I've just mentioned, the 7,370 zone. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. Another one index that I really wanted to quickly touch on, and that's CAC40. So the French index is performing quite well, let's put it that way. If we jump into a daily chart in this one, you can see that it is traveling higher now. Yesterday it had a nice run here to the upside, managed to break some of its key resistance levels. So the key resistance levels are the 5,550 zone, and just slightly above that 5,560. So this very strong area of resistance here, marked previously by these highs, by the high of the 26th of September, which was the 5,550, and the high of the 15th of June 2018, so which is the 5,560 level. So basically, that's a very good sign here for the index. We could see this one traveling further up here towards the 5,600 level. and the 5,600 level, just to kind of show you what that it was the high of the 24th of May, and also not far from this inside swing low of the 18th of May. So very good potential target here at the 5,600 level. Let's see if it actually manages to reach that, but at the moment everything's looking quite positive for this index. I mean, it's traveling, it continues to travel above this upside support line taken from the low of the 27th of December. So yep, let's see how this is going to hold on here, and if this decides to suddenly reverse and drop below the 5,550 level, in order for us, let's say, to consider at least the downside, at least in the short run, we would like to see a drop below this one area right here, the 5,510 and 5,490. So this approximately here, guys, a drop below this could potentially lead this index towards a retest of this upside support line that I was talking about. So keep your eyes on this one. For now, like I said, for now it is looking quite positive. And but if this suddenly reverses down, then yep, this is the area that we're going to be targeting, the area around the 5,490. A break below that could lead towards a retest of this upside support line. So now then, guys, jumping into a few of the pairs here now. So looking at the euro dollar, and this one seems to be coiling up a little bit here, but at the same time it's also ranging a little bit, but need to actually adjust a few of the levels here to be more kind of up to date. So basically, of course, we are still looking at this downside resistance line, this tentative downside resistance line taken from the high of January this year, but still that's going to be in play. But what we're going to be focusing here more on some of these key levels, key resistance and support levels. So the first one would be this one right here, where the pair found good resistance this week and last week. So that this barrier here around the 113.25 zone, that's what we're going to be keeping a close eye on. So let me just quickly adjust this highlighted area. Basically, we need to see a nice good pop above this level in order to kind of aim for higher levels, and by higher levels I mean the 113.50 or even the 113.90 level. So wait for that confirmation break, and yep, then we can potentially squeeze something out of it. In terms of the downside, well, I mean, you can see that I do have this upside support line here drawn from the lows of this month. For now, of course, the lows for now of this month. But in a way, if this decides to travel below the 1.1285 or even the this little area here below the 1.1280, let me just quickly adjust this right here, guys. There we go. So if it travels below this level here, then yep, we could potentially target slightly lower areas, initially aiming for the 112.50 or even actually then going a little bit lower. And let me just quickly highlight that area for us. I'm going to recycle some of these lines here. There we go. Yeah, let's get rid of that, and actually no, let me actually draw a new one here. There we go. So basically this is going to be the level that we're going to be targeting around, and that's going to be around the 1.1230 level, something like that, approximately there. That was marked by the low of the 10th of April. But like I said, in order to kind of consider that these two levels here, we need to see that initial break here below the 1.1280 zone, and this way, like I said, initially we will target the 1.1250, but slightly below that we do have the 1.1230. So basically, long story short, guys, for now stay neutral here and wait for that confirmation break. GBPUSD, so yesterday, of course, it tried to push higher, it tried to push back above its little tentative upside support line, but you can see that it kind of failed and retraced back down. The only thing is that it's still struggling with this little area here around the 1.30 zone, approximately there. Let me just quickly adjust this for our future reference here. There we go. So it's kind of struggling to overcome this one. So but basically that just creates that nice little barrier here a barrier which, if broken, could confirm further declines, initially aiming for the 1.3015 area. Of course, we do have the psychological 130 level as well, but slightly below that, this is the area that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, and that's around the 1.2975 mark near the lows of the 29th of March. So for now, guys, keep your eyes on this little area here around the 1.3030. If it breaks, then yep, let's target these slightly lower areas. Let's go step by step and see how this is going to play out later on. Don't forget, we do have the retail sales coming out, the retail numbers coming out from UK this morning. So also keep a close eye on that one. Later on in the day, of course, we do have the US retail sales as well. So we might see some movement in dollar, in the dollar pairs. And if we jump into a pair which where the dollar is the base, so looking at this picture here, basically USDCAD continues to flirt with this little range here. I mean, it did have a drop lower here yesterday. It broke it to the downside here, but quickly got back inside this range, back above this 133 level, and now it's pushing higher. Now, what I was talking about yesterday on this pair, basically, I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this little area here near the 133.63 zone, 65, something like that, approximately there. If we see a nice good push above that, we may revisit the upper side of this little range that we've got here, which is near the 1.34 zone. So, or maybe just slightly above that by just 3 pips here, but nevertheless, this little area could be that next little target for us, if we see a push above the 133.63 level. If this decides to reverse, I mean, to be honest, in general, until we're gonna see this pair trading within these two levels, we're just gonna remain neutral and wait for that confirmation break. And as you can see by this chart here, in order to aim for lower levels, we need to see a drop below the 133 level, and especially, actually, it would be great to see maybe a 4-hour candle closing below the 133 zone. This way we could then target the 132.45, or even this upside support line, this long-term upside support line, or in other words a trend line here, we can say. So this one here, taken from the lows of the 1st of February, or even actually also the last trading day of January as well. So keep your eyes on this line. For now, like I said, we're going to remain neutral here, but if we see a push above the 1.3365 level, then yep, we could see maybe a retest of this upper side of this little range that the pair is currently stuck at. And the last pair I wanted to quickly touch on, and that's USDJPY. Now, the situation here is basically that USDJPY struggles to overcome this barrier here near the 111.85 zone, so approximately there, guys. So it's kind of holding above that still, even though it did have a few overshoots here, you can see. And but it quickly kind of got back above it. So for now, we're going to remain neutral. In order to consider lower levels, we need to see a clear break here, and a clear, probably for the 4-hour candle staying below this level here. Then we could potentially target the 111.58 zone marked by the high of the 8th of April, but slightly below that we do have this tentative upside support line that could get tested as well. So basically, in other words, guys, for now, keep your eyes on the 111.85 zone. If we see another push here lower, then yep, this is where it could potentially lead towards further declines. But if this decides to rebound and pushes back up again, the level that we're going to be keeping a close eye on here is going to be this one right here. And let me just quickly highlight that, and that's approximately around the 112.10 zone, approximately there. A nice good push, a break above that could open the path towards the 112.20, which was marked here by the by the high. Let me just drag this one back down here. So sorry, by the high, by the lows, it was marked here by the lows of the 6th of December and also the near the lows of the 7th of December. So very good, interesting, attractive level here. But again, if this gets broken, if the 112.10 level gets broken, then we could see a further acceleration to the upside here. And yep, I could see maybe a violation of the 112.20. And then yep, we could see maybe further moves higher. So for now, guys, keep your eyes on these two levels. Let's wait for that confirmation break, and let's see how this is going to play out further down the road. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful trading day today. If you want to join me later on at my trader's tea time, that's 13:15 GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.